AI isn't coming, it's already here, and companies are laying off employees by the tens of thousands. Now, the smart ones aren't waiting around to get cut. They're leaving on their own and using AI to build lean, profitable one-person businesses, while everybody else is busy updating their resume. But what nobody tells you is that you can spend your nights and weekends and thousands of hours learning AI and still not make a single dollar. Personally, when I look on YouTube, all I see are these fake demos like, how many more videos do we need on how to build a website? These creators are just farming you for views, and in reality, who's really selling a website for $10,000? Now, the truth with AI is most people actually waste way too much time building when they should be focused on building a personal brand, because the distribution and getting your name out there and getting people to even know what you're selling is gonna be the name of the game. Now, for me, I used to have a six-figure tech sales job working in Silicon Valley, but I took a bet on myself and built my YouTube channel to over 360,000 subscribers. And right now, I'm probably one of the fastest growing creators in the AI space on YouTube. And this very YouTube channel has generated 7 figures in sales. I get to run this lean, profitable personal brand here in Vietnam and have time to train Muay Thais every single morning and travel to countries like Japan, Singapore, Indonesia with my girlfriend every other month. So in this video, I want to show you how I use AI and Claude to build my premium personal brand so that I can create content where clients come to me. My goal here is to inspire you and show you that it's actually possible, even if you're starting from zero, even if you have a 9-to-5 job, and even if you feel like you don't have time. I mean, 2 months ago, one of my clients, Sandy, was just a regular sales manager at an insurance company, and she went from 200 to 15,000 subscribers in the last 2 months, and she's making $10,000 a month selling AI services, and she started as a complete beginner, didn't even know how to use Claude. And of course, I'm going to show you how you can sign clients as well. But first, let's talk about what makes a personal brand so premium. Now, the first thing I want to cover is helping you understand what a personal brand is not. And these are the common pitfalls I see when people start creating content, right? They think a personal brand is having a fancy logo, but I promise you, do not waste time on a logo. Literally nobody cares. If you look at the logo for my company, Founder X, it's literally a white circle in a black square, right? It literally doesn't matter. A personal brand is also not the colors, right? Just because everything is in blue text and it matches, it doesn't mean someone's gonna pay you money. And finally, the website. I know all these AI creators are like, here's how you make the latest website with Claude. But who's looking at this website if you have no traffic? No matter how pretty or innovative your website is, it actually doesn't really matter. And I have clients making $10,000 a month without a website, and they're just sending a PDF or a Google Doc. So don't focus on the wrong things. I'm going to show you what you should be focused on. I want to make a quick note and say you have to stop blindly copying. I know when you're maybe seeing creators like me or other popular creators, you try to take their thumbnail, their title, and take their script and remix it, right? But it doesn't work, because if it worked, then everybody would have, over 100,000 subscribers. So you need to stop blindly copying people, because you don't have the same experience as them and you're not going to get the same results. And also, when you copy people too much, you just look like a poor imitation, to be honest. And recently I had this video called How to Start a One-Person Business with Claude with AI in 30 Days, right? So this one's blowing up. It's probably one of the fastest growing videos in the AI space, like on YouTube, period. And I'm seeing like everyone's trying to copy my thumbnail. They're copying the gradients. They're copying like every little detail, even the little grids in the background. They're trying to copy it, expecting that they're going to get the same results. But the reality is they're not, because when you're a cheap imitation of another person, everybody can tell, everybody has seen the original. By default, you're not making yourself special. And if you want to make yourself special, we're going to use the premium personal brand pyramid. So there are really 3 levels that I look at, where if you hit all these things, people are just going to be like throwing money at you, essentially, right? Now, the first piece that you absolutely cannot get wrong is the positioning, okay? Positioning is pretty much just where you stand relative to the rest of the market. How I think of it is you want to use a blue ocean strategy. And blue ocean just means it's an open field. There's not a lot of competition, right? And the opposite of that would be a red ocean. So when you copy another person, you try to steal their story and their scripts, their titles and thumbnails, you're literally competing in a red ocean. And it's like a bloody red ocean where only the best survive. If you're a beginner and you're just starting out and you have no proof and you're copying everybody else, what makes you think you're going to survive against these sharks? What you should do instead is take inspiration from what has already worked and find a blue ocean, an area where nobody else is competing. Now, if you want to dive a little bit deeper and learn how you can build a one-person business come up with a business idea, build a profitable personal brand, and sign high-ticket clients, I want to let you know that I have a upcoming free training where I show you everything step by step, even if you're starting from zero, even if you have a 9-to-5 job, because clients like Sandy, Sean, Yvonne, they were all able to build their personal brand and sign high-ticket clients just by following these simple methods. And a lot of them are getting their first clients literally within the first 30 days of working with me. So if you want to learn how you could potentially do this too, check the link in the description, sign up for the free training before spots run out, because they are limited, and once they're gone, they're going to be gone. So I'll catch you live. So how I do it is I look at every personal brand in my market, in my space, and I look for these gaps that nobody is filling. And the goal here is you want to build a personal brand that is one of one. And that is just finding a path that is uniquely your own. So examples of my unique positioning, I mentioned it in the beginning, where I had a 6-figure tech sales job. I left it all to build my online business and personal brand in Vietnam. I have a track record of generating 7 figures in sales with my personal brand and this YouTube channel that you're seeing right now. So when I speak on one-person businesses or personal branding, I lived it, I've done it, I've succeeded. And what I've done, a lot of people want to do. So unless you have that same story, it's going to be hard for you to take my script and like just copy it, right? Now, one of my clients, I can show you what this looks like if you're starting from zero. You know, she was working as a insurance sales manager, but she wants to get into AI, right? Her name's Sandy. Basically, I helped her start her YouTube channel from 0 to 15K subs. She got her first client paying her $5,500 per month for AI automations, and now she's making more than 10K per month consistently. Now, for her positioning, you might think, oh, like what makes her so different? Why are so many people following? How can she get so many subscribers? And like, how does this video have 100,000 views if she's a beginner? And the thing is, it's about positioning. For her, she positions as someone who's not pretending to be an expert. She's a mom. She's got like 3 kids. She's married. And so her perspective is, hey, I'm a busy mom, but I'm still able to spend a couple hours a day learning this AI stuff. Here's all the cool things that I'm doing to use AI to make my thumbnails, edit my videos, and all that kind of stuff, right? And because it's so honest and so authentic, there's just a market that formed around her because they genuinely like her as a person. And it's not because she's the best AI creator in the world, it's because she resonates with a certain person, just like how I resonate with certain people. So now you might be wondering, okay, Patrick, everything kind of makes sense, but how do I have my own unique position and build my one-of-one personal brand? And I actually have a gift for you where I created a custom Claude skill, which I use for all my clients to help them figure out what is their unique one-of-one positioning. Now, if you want this skill and you want to follow along and use this, I put a link in the description where you can get a free download and install it into your Claude in 15 seconds. Okay, so once you download the skill, you want to install it into your Claude. You just double click the skill I gave you and it will automatically install it, right? Now, you want to make sure you go on Cowork, because I find that works much better when it comes to just using Claude instead of chat, right? And what's the difference between chat and Cowork? Cowork just works better for me in getting the end result, and it remembers more things about you, okay? That's how I see it. All you need to do is press /PD, personal brand positioning, and click on this, right? And then you press enter. And what's going to happen is I created this specific skill where it's going to ask you a bunch of questions and you fill out these questions so that the AI knows what makes you unique. So we'll start with, let's build your personal brand to make it like a one-on-one essentially. And then it's going to ask you all these questions, right? So the first is like what industry and niche you want to go after, what's your background, what's your unfair advantage, whether you have a 6-figure job, you work in tech. Everybody has a unique background, right? And then also your character and personalities, right? So once you fill this up, it's going to ask you a series of more questions and it will figure out what is going to be your unique positioning. So for this video, I went ahead and did an example where I had, let's say, a fictitious client. Let's say they are a UI UX designer. I actually have a real client who's a UI UX designer, so I just based it off of him, but I just kind of changed the information so I don't give away his positioning. And then I just ran it through the entire Claude skill, right? And so what will happen is it will create an entire report for you to figure out what is your unique positioning. So starting from the top, it's kind of like giving you, like in this example, I noticed that for a lot of designers, for example, on YouTube, it's a lot of AI slop. Like the designs aren't good, it's not usable, no real company will pay money for it. So if a designer who's like UI UX came into the space, let's say they focus specifically on software designing, right? Helping companies generate revenue by having great design. which is a real thing, they can dominate the entire YouTube space because no one's really doing it, right? And so with that positioning, it'll give you a score of like how good this is out of 100. And how it rates it is that it looks at the specific Claude skill. This is the magic of AI. It'll look at all the internet, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitter, everything, to figure out what is everyone talking about, where's the demand, what's the market sentiment, and where are the blue oceans, where are the gaps that you can fill that nobody else is talking about. And so when you look at this report, you can figure out, okay, what are some ideas that I can have? What are the keywords that are popular, that have high demand, low supply? It will even show you like which keywords are trending. It'll show you your competitors and what they're missing, so you can fill those gaps. And then it gives you another breakdown of like what angles you can take, right? Whether it's like anti-slop movement, SaaS landing page teardowns, and it gives you a score of like how good are these opportunities. So for you, what I encourage you to do is not just blindly copy my title and thumbnails and take my script and remix it. You gotta find your own unique positioning. Otherwise, literally, you're just like everybody else. Now that we understand the importance of having strong positioning, the next thing we're gonna cover is how you can make your personal brand feel premium with AI. So personal branding and content is a game of slight advantage. So if you think about some of the biggest athletes like Michael Jordan, for example, during his peak when he was on top of the world, making a ton of money, having all these sponsorships, do you remember who the 7th best basketball player was at the time? No, you do not. And that's because typically the majority of the rewards go straight to the top. And when it comes to content specifically, how we're gonna help you become a category king in your particular niche is applying aesthetics. If you're trying to build a premium personal brand, aesthetics is essentially how your brand looks, how it feels, and how you get them to emotionally invest in you as a person. Because in a hyper commoditized market, right, especially with AI, everybody can copy you pretty quickly. The only difference between you and another person and me and you is really your brand, right? Anybody can copy your thumbnail, title, and your scripts, but it's your brand and what you represent that is everything. And in the era of AI, taste becomes your advantage because it's so easy to create 3D assets and thumbnails and designs and everything, that just having the taste and, you know, ability to curate different ideas is going to be key. If you were to dive deeper into what taste is, it's really just pattern recognition, right? It's like you're collecting a bunch of ideas, designs, and videos and anything, and building your library of what you think is cool. And you're trying to match that with what other people find cool, and you remix it all together. And taste is really knowing what ideas you should be presenting into the market by having a feel of the current market sentiment, right? So understanding what's culturally going to be relevant, and also looking at data to understand whether or not people like it, right? So I'll give you a personal story on exactly what bad taste is, okay? So I remember many months ago, I paid an agency to make me some thumbnails, right? And this is a thumbnail they came up with. So I gave them some ideas, I gave them some references, and then they're like, all right, Patrick, took them a week to create this. Oh my God. And this is what they came up with, right? Then I got it back. I'm like, okay, why did you use this picture of me with my finger and hand here? Like, it looks so cheesy, so fake. Like, who does that, right? And then I'm looking at the background, and it's some AI slop random house, right? It's like they just like created it with AI. And even the lamp, it has 2 heads on it. It definitely looks like AI. And then there's like the magnetic thing on the top, and it's just like, I guess it's a clean thumbnail, but there's no taste, there's no swag, there's no aura, right? It's like negative aura when I look at this. It just wasn't good enough for me to post. And from their perspective, because the person creating it doesn't have taste, they must have been making this and being like, damn man, I'm cooking, this is really good. But in reality, from my perspective, it doesn't look good to me, and I don't think it's gonna look good in the market, right? So this is one of the thumbnails that I creative directed, where I understood the market a little bit. You know, I wanted to do like the one person business thing. Picture is cleaner, it's not like cheesy. And then I want to innovate, right? So like, that's why I created this whole glass looking folder with the, you know, Claude little robots in there, and it's different. And you know, when I put it out, because I haven't seen anyone do like the little robots like this, like playing together and in a folder that's made of glass, it's going to be pretty innovative when I put this thumbnail out. And now that you understand taste a little bit more, what I want to show you next is review behind a hood on actually how me and my team, we create these thumbnails and a lot of the assets that you see. So right here, I'm using this software called Kiddo, and Kiddo is actually the partner for this video. Now I will say that I get to talk about how I use the software freely, give my honest opinion, so they do not influence any of that, okay? So getting into it, Kiddo is really cool because it's kind of like a board, right? Like normally when you use any AI tool, it's kind of like a chat. But then what Kiddo allows you to do is like, it's just like, it's very design friendly. So in order for us to make something like this, what we do is we take 3 different elements, right? So in this example, we got a glass folder because I thought it was cool. We got the little Claude character, and then we got the Claude logo. And then you basically highlight all of them, and then you type in here, you type in like, combine all of them together to make something specific, right? And then this is what we got. Now, the thing is, it does take a lot of trials and errors before you get something that's actually good, where you're like, yes, I can put that on my thumbnails. But I do want to show you a little bit how easy this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image that we created using AI. Then I'm going to use Kiddo and say, hey, take these characters and the folder, keep the exact same file, but make it blue. So what ended up happening is it did actually do the job. It's exactly the way I wanted. It made it blue, but then I'm like, it's a little too dark blue. And I said, hey, let's make it turquoise. Then it made it turquoise, right? So it's just kind of cool that you're able to like mock up designs so quickly without having a big team, and you're just doing it on your own as like a 1-person business, right? Because normally this would take like a whole like design agency to do. And then if you wanted to take that style and say, hey, let's like try different things, I tried to, take these characters and put them on a skateboard just to see like how far I can take it. And honestly, these are pretty good. And even that 3D GIF asset that I had earlier in the video where I said like, hey, download the skill, link in the description, right? The way I did it was I actually took this particular file, said, hey, let's make it into a gift, use the same characters and make it glow, right? And so that's what I got. Now I just kept doing it over and over, adjusting it, tweaking things here and there. And that's why there's like so many different generations. And in the end, the one we landed on was this one, right? Now, another interesting thing we use this for is going to be the lead magnets, right? So if I type in book, for example, there's like a bunch of these templates. And if I wanted to take this image and just put it on the book, it's like you literally just like click it, put the image that you want in here, and then just it automatically ports over to the book itself, right? Now there are a lot of fonts just because Kiddo has a partnership with Monotype, which just means that it has like all these different fonts that you can use. For me, I like to keep it simple, right? So that's why I use like fonts like Inter and just like keep it like that. So a couple different options here, and I just gonna show you like just how it works, right? And if you look at the lead magnet that I had, using the link in the description, you will see that it's exactly like this. It's literally just a book that's black. I put some white text and an image on top, and that's pretty much it. And for us, it gets us a very high conversion. So, something like this is like so quick to mock up. Like it would literally take somebody 5 minutes to do, or even less if you know how to use everything, right? Now, I will say, in order to make this work, the AI can do a lot of the work in generating these cool images, but again, it's about taste. It's about knowing what is cool. Because when I showed you the other thumbnails the other designer had, with all the AI tools at his disposal, he still couldn't make something cool. It's not because of the tech, It's more because of understanding what people find aesthetic. Now, if you want to try Kiddo for free and try some of these templates for the lead magnets and the books, I actually put a link in the description for you to just try it out, play around with it, and see if it's something for you. So now that we understand the aesthetics, the next thing is understanding how you're going to convert your views into clients. When it comes to the premium personal brand pyramid, we are now entering the conversion part. So you see all my videos here on my YouTube, right? You see like 50K views, 200,000 views, and which is great, don't get me wrong. But how do we actually turn these eyeballs into money? Because yes, if we're building a personal brand, there's ad revenue, right? So I'm making thousands of dollars per month and not doing anything just from the ad revenue from these videos, but I'm making significantly more working with clients. In order to turn your views into clients, you have to understand that you want to make your videos first, like your premium personal brand positioning, strong. And the reason why you're going to get views is because your positioning is good and you have strong packaging. And packaging is just your idea, title, thumbnail, the aesthetics, and the vibe, which we covered. Now, when you get the views, the goal of the video is to get tens of thousands of emails, a bunch of webinar signups, and a lot of book calls, right? So it's not about just getting the views, it's about having some kind of conversion mechanism in order to turn that view into a paying client. And now in order to turn your views into clients, The main thing here is you need to get your followers to believe. They need to believe in whatever it is that you're selling. If they do not believe in you, they don't trust your words, and they don't believe that you are who you say you are, there's no way they're gonna buy anything from you. In order to get someone to believe and book a call and buy from you, there's actually 3 belief pillars that we gotta go over, right? The first one is they gotta believe in you. They need to believe in your story, your philosophy, your beliefs and values, and that you are who you say you are. So when I, in the beginning of this video, said I quit my 6-figure tech sales job, moved to Vietnam, built a profitable personal brand, and generated 7 figures. Now, this is all true. It's all documented. I have a lot of B-roll footage and everything, and that's why I do it in the beginning. And so what happens is the majority of people who watch my content, they believe that I am who I say I am. In content, there's a lot of people that just make up stuff, or they'll just like screenshot their Stripe accounts. It's like, that's why people are skeptical, right? And so your content needs to show that you are who you say you are. You can do the things that you do, and they will trust you. And that's why for me, when I show you all the design and showing the boards and all the mistakes we made and how many trial and errors I have to go through to get something good, I want to show you that I'm real, that I'm actually doing this, not just talking about it. Now, the second thing people need to believe in is that they need to believe in your vehicle. And a vehicle is really just your unique method of achieving some kind of desired result. So if I'm saying, hey, I'm going to help you quit your 9-to-5 job so that you can make money online, right? What is my unique vehicle? For me, it's building a one-person business and building a personal brand and using AI, right? That is my specific vehicle. For other people, it might be, I'm gonna help you start a faceless YouTube channel, or I'm gonna help you do, drop shipping or whatever, right? Everyone is selling their own vehicle, and you need to make sure that your vehicle is positioned as the best for your ideal client. And finally, you need to get people to believe that they can do it too. It's not enough for me to say, oh, look at me, I got 360,000 subscribers, right? Sure, people are gonna watch and they're gonna be like, okay, Patrick, like, yeah, you can do it because you're charismatic, you know how to sell, and whatever excuse they're gonna make. So that's why I use a lot of examples of my clients like Sandy and Shu, who got his first high ticket client with 25 subscribers and sold them for $2,000, right? I tell these stories because I need to show you like, hey, everyday regular people are creating personal brands and they're profitable. The only difference between you and them is that they actually put content out. When I stack all these pillars together, it's very easy for me to, for example, get people to sign up for a live training or webinar, right? In fact, my videos right now, we're literally getting like thousands of people signing up for these webinars because of my content and because people believe in it, and they believe that, hey, maybe if they learn something new, they can do it too. And when you're shifting the beliefs of your viewer, you're not just teaching how to, you're showing them what's possible. Right. And for me, my whole purpose of even doing this YouTube channel is to inspire, right? Everything I do, I base my life around that, because that for me gives me the greatest joy, and it can be very profitable. And that's really a big part in building a personal brand and getting people to align with your beliefs and values. Because what ends up happening is the people that work with me, the people that sign up for my webinar, the people that actually pay me money for me to help them succeed, just like I've done for many of my clients, what we all have in common is that we have this intention to inspire others and help people, right? Because that's what resonates with me. It also deeply resonates with my clients. And if it resonates with you, sign up for the free training and take the next step. Now that we covered how to monetize, I want to next cover this idea of how you need to be taking action. Because I know a lot of you guys might watch this video, you close your laptop, and then you just go back to your everyday life. I want to really encourage you to give it a shot, because right now it's the best time to be building your personal brand and starting your business, right? It's never been easier to build an online business, especially with all the AI tools available, which I showed you in this video. And to be honest, building a personal brand can actually change your life. It completely changed my life. I was just a regular tech sales rep working in Silicon Valley at Oracle and then a Y Combinator backed startup. And I thought that was going to be my life, that I would just do the 9-to-5 grind living in San Francisco. But I always had this dream to move to Vietnam and build my own thing, right? And so I know from firsthand experience of like when I quit my job like 7-ish years ago or 8 years ago now, like it was a leap. I wasn't sure if I was going to make money, but it completely transformed my life for the better. And in this era of AI, you want to be on the winning side, because you see it like all these tech companies and companies in general, they're like laying off their employees by the tens of thousands. Instead of being a victim to this and having to update your resume, why not use AI to your advantage? Why let the big companies take advantage of AI and get richer when you could be using the same exact technology, downloading Claude for a $20 subscription, and then using it so you can have an army of AI agents doing the work for you, like I've been showing you in this video. Now, one of my clients, Sean, he was a technical person. When he worked with me and he was trying to figure out how to start a business, I was the one that encouraged him. I was like, hey man, like you got to get into this AI thing. And so he started making content on YouTube. He started making content on LinkedIn, talking about Claude and things like similar to me, right? And then he got his first high ticket client paying him thousands of dollars. And then another client basically came in paying him, like we're talking 6 figures, to be their AI guy. And now he's running like AI infrastructure for one of the, I don't want to reveal it yet because I don't think he made it public, but is one of the biggest like media conglomerates, and he's literally their AI guy. And he just started learning AI stuff like less than 6 months ago, right? Like building it, like, and it all happened because he started posting content online, making these videos. So if you're actually serious about building a one-person business, profitable personal brand, being able to work from anywhere, I highly encourage you to actually check the link in the description and book a call with us, because on that call we can help you figure out exactly what kind of business idea you should do based on your unique skills, knowledge, and experience, and how you should even be going about creating content so that you can start getting results in month 1 versus spinning your wheels for months and just like giving up, right? So again, check the link in the description to book a call. But if you're not ready yet and you want to watch another video, check out this one where I show you how to build a profitable one-person business.